Hi, everyone. Welcome to Live in 5D. Let's see. Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel Chamness at soundwaveshill.com. I'm a shamanic channel and mentor. This is Live in 5D. And today I wanted to talk about how to give and get a good reading. So let's see. I'll put this on the bottom here. So wait for a moment to see who else is coming in for a minute. Give you a second. Go live in my other group. Let's see. So welcome. Let's see. Here we go. Are we here yet? Is it working? Okay, it's working. All right. Hi, I'm Rachel Chamness. I'm at soundwavesheal.com. I'm a shamanic channel and mentor. And I love to help lightworkers expand their psychic clairs and channel beings of the light for their own messages and for others. I love to teach trance channeling and shamanic healing. And I'm really excited that you're here. Today, we're going to talk about, if you can see on the bottom, how to get a great reading, like what you need to do to get a great reading, how to give, oops, that's the wrong one. How to give a great reading. So just a few tips for those of you who are already oracles or mediums. And then like how to spot a scammer or false light reader, how to find a legit medium, and then beginner reading tips. So I want to start with how to get a good reading. Hi, everyone. I'm starting to see everybody now. So, the truth is this. We are in a very saturated market right now of readers, and whether you're a reader or you just like to watch readers or you like to watch mediums, you might be being called to be a medium yourself. So we really need to see that, where we love something, it might be because there's something about it for you. Before I was a medium, I would love to watch mediums. I loved it because it was so interesting to me. And I thought, God, this is so cool how this person can do this. And I never, ever thought that I could do it myself. But here I am, and I teach other people to do it all the time. So it's really interesting. If you really love mediums and you think they're really, interesting the way it works, then perhaps you're being called to do it yourself. I just thought I'd throw that out there. So hi, Lori, Shauna, Shireen, Rhonda, Mary, Terry, Jessica, and Melissa. Hi. All right, so first let's talk about how to get a great reading. Let's say you've signed up for a reading and you want to make sure that you are really going to get the best reading that you can. What can you do? Well, the first thing you're going to do is get into a good space before the reading starts. So you want to really just come to center, get grounded, ground yourself. Think about roots of light coming from the bottoms of your feet or from the bottom of your spine, going deep into the ground, 5D earth if you can. Think about 5D earth grid. Really ground yourself, clear yourself, maybe with angel light. Like I teach a little $11 course called Angel Fire Protection and Shielding, which teaches you how to use the different lights that can clear and heal you and heal others. So clear yourself or just ask your guides to clear you and then call in your guides. And you might want to do a spirit circle if you want, if you know how to do that. If you want to learn how to do that, that's free in my spirit guide bundle, which you can buy. Actually, my spirit guide bundle, which is free on my site. So it's on my site under courses. It's free. It teaches you how to communicate with your spirit guides, teaches you how to make a sacred circle, and gives you all kinds of freebies, like all kinds of meditations and fun stuff. So that's at soundwavesheal.com/spirit guides if you want. And it's also in the comments. I'll put in the comments. So here, I'll put it right now. Soundwavesheal.com spirit guides. Now, if you already have this and you're like, I don't recall that being, I don't recall there being a spirit circle in there. It's because I just added it. It's also on my YouTube page. Okay, so how to get a great reading. You get in a good space, right? And you also maybe want to light a candle. I absolutely recommend that you always use a white candle if you're going to be burning sage, so that when you release negative energy, it has somewhere to go. I don't think that sage is going to clear super huge problems, but it will kind of clear the air, basically, like negative emotions, like if there was a big blow up or something like that. It can also, deter spirits that don't like it, sure. So all of that works. So always recommend white candle. Also, you can ask your spirit guides to surround you and ask them to make sure that you get the best information for the highest good. Make sure you have a glass of water. It was really good to help you just process emotions. And here's something really important. Be open and trust. Don't be cryptic and closed, right? So if you're open, if you have paid this medium to give you a reading, then you shouldn't be skeptical. If you're really skeptical of this reader, then you probably shouldn't be paying them yet. Maybe you need to follow them a little more closely or get a very, very small reading from them first. But also, it's very hard to read a closed book. If you close yourself off to me, I'm not going to be digging into your psychic field past where you're comfortable. That's really, that's rude. I'm not going to do that. If you're totally closed, your spirit guides are closing you off, and it's going to be very hard for me to get that information. So if you don't trust me, then you really shouldn't be getting a session from me. And this goes for anyone you're going to. Don't close off too much. You just need to be open and trust. And then if it's not resonating, then you can just throw it out afterwards, but be open enough. And if the psychic is asking you something like, is this resonating? That's because they want to give you more information. If you can give them a little bit of information, then the medium can really see more. When people give me a little information about things, or if I'm like, is this resonating? And they're like, yes, this resonates because I do work in the medical field. I'm a nurse and blah, blah. Then I'm like, oh, and then all of a sudden the spirit guides are telling me so much more. Oh, this is what I'm seeing. So with that rapport, you're going to get a lot more information. So give them a chance. And if you decide you don't like them, then throw it out afterwards. As always, you're only going to take what resonates with you. That's really, really important. Now, on the other side of that, don't talk too much. So let me just tell you what it's like when you're a medium. I'm talking to you. Let's say we're on Zoom, right? And you're talking to me. You've only told me one sentence. I already have all the information for you. But as you're going in detail, going on and on and on, I'm trying to hold on to all this information your spirit guides are telling me. And it's like, I can't. And as you're talking and talking and talking and talking, I lose half of it. You have to let the medium talk. As we get information, sometimes it comes really fast and we have to get it out before it's gone. So, you really want to give the reader a chance to talk. If you talk too much, they won't have a chance to. Now, if they're asking you a question, is this resonating? Something like that, it's really important that you help out. You don't need to give them all the information, but give them enough so that they can take, what they've told you. Yes, that resonates. Keep going in that direction, and then they can keep going that way, and they can get you more information. But yes, I've actually had sessions where it was a 30-minute session, which I don't really do anymore except for special mentorship. And they talked for 29 minutes and I couldn't get a word in, and I literally couldn't hardly give them a reading. So yeah, short answers are what we're asking, is what Shauna says. Absolutely. And then Judy says she loves the Angel Fire Protection and Shielding class. She says, in my years on this path, I've consumed many techniques for this kind of thing, yet I still learned new techniques in the Angel Fire class. That's great. It's only $11 on my site if anybody wants to grab that. Okay, so there's also a great way to ask questions. If you're getting a reading, you want to ask an open-ended question. So, will I get this job I'm applying for is different than what should I know about getting this job I just applied for. Do you see what I mean? One question is a yes or no question, which, by the way, future answers are really subject to any decision you make 5 minutes from now that could change it. There's many timelines, which we'll talk about in a second. But if you say, what do I need to know about it? Now you've got all this information coming. What you need to know is that just be yourself. It looks like you've got this in the bag for many timelines. Looks like this is happening for you. the most important thing is to let them know how well you work with others. That's the most thing they're looking for. Do you see how this can help? Like, yes or no. I mean, you really can't get a good future ever. It sometimes happens. Like, you can't, as a reader, you can't be dependent on giving people future information because you just never know what's going to happen. You could be looking at a timeline that they're not actually going to go into. So, open-ended questions. So, will I find love? I mean, that's a very subjective question. Do you know how many answers there are to that? Yeah, you're going to get a puppy next week. Yeah, when you're 85, right? Or how about, how can I find love? Now, here is where you will really get an answer. Well, what's preventing you from having love right now is this block. And once you truly learn to clear this block of self-love, then you're going to meet someone who is going to really treasure you. And that's a different kind of relationship than you've had in the past. You see how this is a much better reading than, yeah, sure, you're going to find love. I mean, again, that's future. So you don't want to ask a future question like that. You just never know where it's going to go. And as a reader, you don't want to be promising any kind of future because, okay, it happens all the time. People come to me all the time and say, you said this was going to happen, and it did. But when I say it, I'm saying, this is what I see. If things are going as they are, this is in most timelines. This is likely to happen if, sometimes I've given a message, many times I've given a message where I say, if you do this, then this is more likely to happen. If you want this in your life, then you must do this first, because that's how a message goes. Your spirit guides aren't just like, hey, go to a medium so you can find out what happens in your life. Your spirit guides are like, go to a medium so she can tell you what you need to do to get where you're trying to go. That's like a huge thing. Your spirit guides will push you towards a healer or a medium in so many crazy ways because they need you to know some sort of information, something you need to do. A healer doesn't heal your life for you and you do nothing and everything's fixed. They heal as much as they can. They bring to your attention what you need to heal. And you even help them in your higher self, to allow them to heal. But if you don't accept the healing, if you don't take the information that you're being given and do the things that you're being told to do, then it's really not going to stick, is it? Because it's dependent on that. So with healing and with reading, that's really important. So if you're getting some sort of information in this reading, make sure you follow it, because it's the main reason why your spirit guides led you to this medium. Okay. And so with the future stuff, we've already covered that, but like, you really can't give a future reading. You don't expect you're going to find out what happens. Let's just say that's a thing. Let's say you can go to a medium and she's going to tell you everything that happens. Well, wow, that's fun. I mean, then what? You know exactly what's going to happen every step of the way in your life. How boring. Do you really think your spirit guides want you to know that kind of stuff? No. I mean, they might give you a hint or tell you some things, but I wouldn't even be here today if my guides hadn't been like, we are not telling you who your spirit guides are. No one can tell you. So finally I had to take the craziest class I could find to figure out who my spirit guides were, to become a trans channel medium. And that's what I do, and teach other people to do it. Like, it is wild, right? Okay. So that's just another thing. All right. So here's just a little thing I just want to say. If you're a real beginner and you're like, well, is the psychic going to read my mind? No, we don't read your mind. And in fact, that's really rude. That's what we'll talk about in a minute on how to spot a fake medium, a scammer, is that they're jumping in your inbox and being like, hey, I noticed that you have this curse that needs to be removed, or I noticed that you're this kind of person and that. And I'm like, no, you don't, because I would not open my auric field for just any willy-nilly person to read it. My auric field is closed for reading, and you can just make that intention unless I allow someone to read it. And it's very rude to give someone a message who's not asking for one. And if someone is doing that, that's really then they don't have very good boundaries. You don't want a reading from them, right? So in the same way, just because I'm a psychic doesn't mean I'm reading your mind. I'm going to be very polite. I'm going to knock on your psychic door. Like, once you pay me or you allow me to read you in like a free reading session or whatever, then I will read you. But I'm not going to just be like telling you things willy-nilly. That's rude. And also, if you have a friend who's a psychic and that's how they make their living, then you don't want to ask them for free answers all the time. Like, that's also rude. That's how they make their living, right? So you want to, support your friend. Now it's different if you are also a healer and you are in a thing where you trade insights back and forth. That's like actually spoken. You didn't just assume that. Then that's like, then fine. Yeah, ask them their opinion and then you can give them one when they ask you one. That's totally fine. I do that with a few friends and it's fine. But, you know, this is just psychic politeness. Okay, so hi everybody, I see you. Okay, so this is the first part. This is like a 4 or 5 part, but we'll go fast. So also a psychic medium cannot give you lotto numbers. If your spirit guides want you to know the lotto numbers, then they'll have you go get a lotto ticket. Like a psychic medium can't get those numbers for you. I've had people ask me that before. I'm just like, do I just refund you? Or I don't know what makes you think I do that. Like if I could just go get the lotto numbers, do you think I would just have like, I don't even know what I would do. I would do the same thing, obviously, but I would have an enormous retreat center. So we're not reading your mind or giving you lotto numbers. Okay. So how would you find a good medium? Let's go to that. How to find a legit medium. And then after this, I'll talk about tips on giving a great reading, how to spot a scammer, false light reader, and then beginner reader tips. So stay tuned. Here we go. A few tips to find a legit, real medium for a great psychic reading. One is referral. So, a referral. Do you have a friend who says, hey, I really like Rachel Chamness at Soundwaves Heal. I really like Missy Sullivan. She's amazing. You know, she's a great reader. She gave me this reading and it was terrific. Okay, that's great. If you don't know anyone who can give you a referral, then go look at their testimonials. So they should have some, you know, hopefully, if you are a reader, you put up your testimonials. Like I have a highlight in my Instagram, which has a ton of testimonials. I have 3 of them because I ran out of space. And then also have one that's all for Tag Lightworkers membership. So there's a bunch of testimonials there. You can go to my Google page, which is a little bit harder. You have to have a local place to have a Google page. And I have all 5 stars. I have a ton of people on there talking about how much I helped them. Yay. Thank you guys so much for giving me a testimonial, by the way. But, you know, check for their testimonials. And if you see something like that, then you know, okay, this person's not a faker, right? However, just because you go and see that Rachel Chamness has this great Google, Facebook, all the things, so many testimonials, but you have so-called Rachel Chamness in your inbox saying, hey, I want to give you a reading. I see something happening. Send me $100. Like that's not legit. Okay. People, there's such a thing as copycat scammers. They just copy your page and pretend to be you, reach out to your people and try to get them to give you money. I'm not ever coming into your inbox to give you a reading or ask you to pay me. Like that's gross. I'm not doing that. It's never going to happen. If that happens, it's not me. So if someone is reaching out to you, then that's probably not right. And you want to go to the real medium's website, go to their scheduling and schedule yourself something. And we'll talk a little bit more about that if you're like, ooh, I don't have a scheduler and I'm a reader. Then we'll talk about that in a second. But that's what you want to do because those scammers, you know, they're really tricky. They're very, very smart. So watch out. So another thing you can do is see their style and how they read their information, like by looking at their social media pages. If you can't find them, reach out to them and say, hey, I'm really feeling drawn to get a reading from you. Is there some place where I can see your style or how you read? Do you have any videos anywhere? You know, someone said that to me, I'd be like, oh yeah, every Thursday at 11 a.m. I go live with my deck, Elemental Magic and Manifestation, and I give free readings for 45 minutes at Soundwaves Heal on YouTube and Facebook. And so catch me then and I'll give you a reading you'll be able to see. Or maybe I'll say, oh, every Wednesday I do this free group healing and reading at so-and-so. I don't do that, but maybe someone else does, you know, and so you can see that. Another thing is that you could just take a chance on a short session that they might have, like a mini session. And as always, use your discernment to see if that resonates with you. Do you know what I mean? Like, did that resonate? Do I feel that's true? No matter how great the medium is and how many perfect, wonderful readings they've given you, you're always going to check in with your inner divine guidance on whether or not it's really resonating, because otherwise, you know, then you're not really leading yourself. You're not really sovereign in yourself. If you're just taking the advice constantly without checking it. You know, how to be sovereign in yourself is, sure, I go to mediums too. I go to my clients that I have taught and who have become like really amazing. And who have their own businesses now. I go to them, they come to me. You know, I go to other mediums and healers all the time. And every single thing they tell me, I check in with myself to make sure that it resonates. And if it does, I accept it. If it doesn't, then I think, oh, that doesn't resonate. I'll see if it makes more sense later, you know, because also things can be lost in translation as well. Or you could have a trigger. So sometimes you got to put things on the back burner. But if you're just taking information and just never checking it, then you're not sovereign. But to be able to go to people and accept their help, which we all need to do, then we just run it through our own discernment. Oh, that works. That I'll have to think about later. You know, that works. Yes, I need to do that. That feels really good. You know, and then you are being more sovereign in yourself. Okay. So those are a few tips on how to find a legit medium. Now, how to spot the false light and the scammers. We talked a little bit about that, but if they don't have a legit scheduling app and they're contacting you through Facebook or Instagram and telling you you got something wrong and they're going to fix it for you, or oh dear, you know, I just want to caution you that most people don't say grand rising anymore. And it's like so taken over by fakers and scammers that if you're saying that, I would just throw it out, because that is like, that is actually a keyword that I use to catch scammers who post in my group. I mean, it's just like, I would just throw it out. It's now been picked up so badly by scammers. I don't think we can use it anymore. But I mean, they kind of have that same language a lot of times. So they could be fake or they could be a copycat, like I was talking about. Again, it's not okay to come into your orc field without information. I mean, it's not okay to come into your orc field without permission. And also, it's likely that they cannot. If you've made the decision, you're not letting people read you. So it's really hilarious when I get these fake scammers in my inbox when I'm like, you can't even read me because I've turned it off for you. So, you know, that's one thing. Another is that they may give you a free session, and that free session has a terrible prognosis, right? That terrible prognosis is like, it's really doom and gloom. It's terrible. And of course, now you need a really expensive session to fix that problem, right? And that's like, yeah. Free session with terrible prognosis. There's one thing. Another thing is they might make you feel bad or guilty. A lot of doom and gloom. You've got curses. And of course, removing the curses isn't part of the session, which is crazy. That's crazy. If you're going to tell people they have curses, you need to be a healer so that you can remove them. And I can tell you right now that if you have a curse, I can clear it in about 1 minute or 30 seconds. It's not going to cost an extra $500. Like, that's so crazy. Now, if it's a really deep one, it might take me longer, but still, it's just the same price, whether I'm reading you or healing you. So that's kind of a sign too. You know, if it's tied to some, you know, larger money for some other service, then that could be a sign. Now, this is different than, hey, I really see that Reiki could be really great for you and I have a psychic Reiki healing course. I mean, I tell people that all the time. I'm not pressuring them to take it. I'm just saying it really looks like it would be really great for you. I think it would help you because of this and this. Your spirit guide is really saying that it would help you. And that's just information I'm giving you. I'm not saying, oh, you better take it. If you don't take it, then this is going to happen. You know what I mean? That's different. So they might pressure you. You got to do something right now. That's a total scammer thing, right? You got to do it right now, right now. Or they might even threaten you with dark magic or say they know people who can harm you. Just please run away from someone who says something like that. That's crazy. If they claim they'll do some action on another, they'll make that person love you, or they're going to teach that person a lesson. They're going to do something to that other person. That's false light. You cannot do that. Please don't do that. Do not do anything to anyone else. So if a person comes for a session and they're like, I want my ex-wife to love me again, can you make her love me? I'm like, you're not my client, first of all, no. But even so, you can't. No. How about we heal you so that you find someone who can love you for you instead of trying to make someone do something. And I'm not going to hurt someone who hurt you. You know, if someone is like psychically attacking you, I will turn them around and send them on their merry way with angels for their highest and greatest good. I'm not binding them, not freezing them, and not or doing anything like that. I don't really believe in that stuff. If you do, you know, that's on you. But I'm just saying, I don't believe in that stuff. And I would recommend that we don't work with people who do that and that they learn to do better. So, and then there's one other thing. And it's really sad that I know someone who does this, and it just breaks my heart because they're truly gifted healer if they want to be. But a healer or a reader who just tells you a reader or healer who tells you what you want to hear, and it's not the truth. They indulge your fantasies, or they're taking you off your path by just telling you whatever you want so that you'll come back and get more sessions with them. You know, that's out there too. And it's sometimes in the most unlikely places, sadly. So if you're just always getting exactly what you want to hear, you know, and you have a little niggling feeling that that might not be right, then maybe it's not. On the other hand, if you're really down on yourself and you're getting messages like you're doing really great, blah, 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 then it could just be the truth too. And you're just not giving yourself enough credit. But, you know, I doubt that you'll ever go to a reading where like 100% of it is like, you're doing great. Everything's right. Yes, you're totally right. And yes, you're twin flame, blah, 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 twin flame. That a lot of times that's not real. Or it's not helpful. You should be getting some sort of information that tells you how to go forward in your life in a way that helps you. So the reading is to help you, or the healing is to help you also clear, heal, go forward. And you should get some sort of information that helps you do that. And if you're not, then what's the reading for? Just pat you on the back? I mean, you need a real reading that's like from your spirit guides who helping you do what it is that you need to do to be better, right? So let's talk about how to find, oh wait, we already did this. So let's talk about reading tips, okay? Oh, wait, I didn't do this one. Wait, let's talk about giving a great reading. So if you're going to give a great reading, a couple of things that will help is that you have a sacred circle. If you don't know how to do that, I have a free video on how to do a sacred circle or sacred sphere. It's on my YouTube channel at Soundwaves Heal, and it's also included in the whole free bundle that comes with the Spirit Guide Masterclass that I give out. And that's on my website at soundwavesheal.com under classes or courses, and it's free. So I really recommend that before you give the reading, you're going to just, you know, don't put them back to back with no time in between. You're going to really give yourself like time. You're going to take deep breaths. You're going to connect to earth. You're going to light a white candle. You're going to make a sacred circle if you can. Learn how to do it. It's also in my 5D daily group guides, you know, how to make a sacred circle. Clear yourself, connect, take deep breaths, take that time, you know, also watch your time. If you have a 30-minute session, you do a 30-minute session and you say, our time is up. Did you want to continue? And, you know, PayPal me real quick for how much further you want to go, or, you know, if you still have a lot more to say, but this session is over. You need to have some, you know, things that you do to indicate that the session's over, or be able to say that it's over, which, you know, is hard, but we have to get there. So that way you have that time between sessions to really regroup, cut cords from the last person because you stepped into their org field. So you need to cut those cords and, you know, go to the next person. And another great thing to do, whether you're advanced or not, is to tap in right before you start the session, if it's live, to see if there's anything that might be hidden that you might need to know. So sometimes once you start talking to people, you know, you don't see something that, I mean, you know, especially if they have something in their energy field, it could be like obscured from you, and they will do things to like confuse you. So the person will be talking a lot, you won't see it. So it's really good to take just a minute before you start and just look and see if there's anything you need to know before this reading starts. Okay, that's very important. So that will help you even if you're advanced. Now, if you're a beginner reader, here's some tips for you. Let me just have some water. Like I said, all the same things. Make sure you have a sacred circle, you're clear, you take time, you tap in before you start. You know, if you're a beginner reader, you might want to just pull a card You might want to pull a card before you start. Like, what do I need to know about this session? Let's see. Let me pull a random card from my own deck. We'll take, okay, receive with grace. If I don't know, if I pulled that before with that question, if I pulled that, I guess I would say that I will receive all the information that comes to me and not throw anything out. There might be something unusual that is going to pop up, and I need to really, it'll be outside my thought process, and I'll really need to like allow it to come in as weird as it might be, you know? I see some great comments and I'm going to address them in just a second. If you have questions, please ask. So another thing you might do if you're a beginner, just use cards that you know and trust and that you know are like give you great answers. So, I mean, I know this is like a little plug for mine, but that's what mine are made for, to give you really easy readings. Or any deck that you have that you use a lot that really speaks to you is going to be a lot easier, especially if you're new to it, than trying some new deck that you haven't like really gotten to yet, because that can be kind of like, oh, I don't know what this means, you know? So if you use ones that you know and trust, that'll help you. And don't get ahead of yourself. If you're new to reading cards for other people, then start where you are. So you want to start with barter or low cost readings and build up a base of testimonials. You know, you don't want to go straight to like, it's $100 and you don't even have like a scheduler or anything like that. So like we talked about before, that's one of the ways that you spot a scammer, is that they may not, they're trying to get you to like sign up through Messenger or whatever. So yeah, if you don't have a scheduler, you're going to need to have something that makes you legit so that people know that you're not a scammer. Of course, obviously, you're not going to be going into their inbox and trying to get them to have a reading with you. If you're doing that, that's probably not going to work out very well, because everybody hates that. Please don't do that. So you want to start with barter, low-cost readings, build up a base of testimonials, ask for testimonials, and there's great ways to do this. There's programs that do this, you know, Side Chicks with Brandy. She does that in her Side Chicks Collective, and I have an affiliate link I'll be happy to give you to join. And then you can, you know, give, she has a whole like system where you can give readings and kind of build up your testimonials and things like that. She's very helpful to help you build a business for reading. If you know, at least have a Facebook page and show its validity by having it a long time. That way, if someone copycats you, you can see the difference between the copycat and the real thing. That could be helpful too, to show that you're legit. So you want to show that you're legit. A scheduler really helps. A one-page website really helps if you can. Obviously, it's something you might want to build up to. You can make yourself a very simple one, or you can even have one made. The people who do my website, they have a deal right now where a one-page website's $750 and they'll give you all kinds of payment plans. That's a really good idea. You can always update it if you decide to change your you know, what you're doing or whatever. So, or you can start with a Facebook page. I'm just saying, make sure it looks legit because of copycat scammers. That's just the problem these days. There's so many scammers. We have to really show that we're not, you know what I mean? And also just have really good spiritual boundaries. Like I said, I talked about that a lot, but you're not going to go into someone's inbox or read people without their permission. Like, I know that if you're starting to get information, it's really exciting, and you might want to just start telling people the things that you're getting, but it's kind of bad spiritual boundaries. So you want to really say, you know, if you're getting a really strong message for someone you love or someone, you know, and you really want to give it to them, don't like Teresa Capulto it. Giving people readings in the Taco Bell drive-thru. You want to instead, like, you would definitely want to just, you know, you could tell someone that you feel like you could get a message for them, or you have a message for them if you want, but you know, people don't really receive that very well. I would instead ask your guides to tell you only messages for people who are wanting to receive it or who are asking for messages, and that they not give you a bunch of willy-nilly messages for people you don't know. That's just tell them that's not useful. Or ask them why they're doing it and see what your guides say. Maybe they're just trying to get you to see that you're actually getting messages. If you're getting messages for people who aren't asking, maybe you're just supposed to think about it and see how that plays out. And then that gives you a message that you're receiving real information. It's kind of like what to do with when you have a dream about something and it comes true. That's usually your guides trying to show you, like, you're not supposed to change it, most likely, especially if you have no idea where it's coming from. It's just starting. It's just about like, hey, we're giving you true information. Now, what can you do with that? Like, what do you want to do with that? How would you like to use this ability that you have, you know? So if you want to learn how to channel or you want to expand your channeling, I do have a channeling class once a month. I've got one coming up this weekend. And actually it's an abundance guide. So in my weekend class, we are working with meeting a guide, and then I will help everyone in the class one-to-one channel their guide in some way. So if you're advanced, we'll just hold space for you. If you're a beginner, I'll walk you through it to have some kind of message come forward and show you how to do it. Even if you're not good at meditation, I can still help. The class is low cost, is $55, and I do it once a month, and I have one this weekend. And this one is for an abundance guide. So I'd love for you to come if you'd like. Now I have a lot of questions here and I'd like to get to them. Let's see. I also wanted to put that up on the, so you can, here we go. I'll put that up on the fly here. Meet your abundance guide and channel them with help. And this is my low cost class. It's $55. If you are in my group, 5D Daily, there is a 40% off coupon. Okay, so let's see. Judy had some great things to say, so I want to say it. I'm sorry to go hard on the Grand Rising thing. I just think maybe we need to stop saying it. So Judy says the person has to be ready emotionally in order to accept the information, understand it, and take action on it. That's right. Sometimes people give you a message and it doesn't resonate yet. We'll just write it down in your journal and see if it does later. Judy says, I also eliminate readers and healers who don't believe in dark entities or curses. If they're all love and light without recognition of the dark, they're not balanced and cannot pull in accurate messages. Well, yeah. Okay, these are great tips. I'm going to start including card readings in a session, but as an addition to my coaching. This is great. Wonderful. And Judy, I know you well, and I know you do great work. So that's really great. Connie agrees with the Grand Rising. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys. If you're saying it, maybe it's just time to replace it with something else. I'm sorry. So I hope this was helpful. Did anyone have any questions about it? I see all your comments. I also teach how to read oracle cards. I have an oracle card class, which teaches you how to use oracle cards in all kinds of ways. All of my classes are for beginners or advanced. They kind of teach you like all the ways you can do it and all the different ways to use tools like this or a pendulum to do all kinds of things. So those are, of course, in my Tag Lightworkers membership, where it's a full library of connections to all types of light beings, all types of healing, all types of meeting beings who can help you and heal you, and we have lives every week with wonderful tag team. So it's a really wonderful thing. And also you get that channeling class for free, which is this weekend. But you can join if you're not in tag, you just pay for the class. So, okay, I hope that helps. Okay, we went through, if you want to start it over, if you just came in, we went through like how to get a good reading from someone, how to give a good reading for someone, how to find a legit medium, how to spot false light or fake light workers or fake mediums, and what you need to know if you are a beginner reader, and what you need to know to like make sure that people know you're legit and have good spiritual boundaries and things like that. So that's all the things we discussed. I hope that if you missed the first part, you'll listen. And if you have any questions, let me know. Of course, love questions, because then it gives me more ideas of things to come live and talk about. So I hope I'll see some of you this weekend in my channeling class, Channeling an Abundance Guide. It's very helpful to get an abundance guide. And if you're in Tag Lightworkers, I'm working on the meditation to meet an abundance angel, and it is going really well. That meditation is going to be so amazing. So I'm excited to do that. So thank you all for coming. Thanks for watching my live in 5D, and I'll see you next week. Okay, bye.